This is the photo shoot for the publicity image for Enduring Song, our new show that opens in June at Southwark Playhouse, which we're very excited about because
we did Bound there and they welcomed us back, and then it's now a production which is in association with them. So it's really great to go back there. It kind of feels like the right home for the piece.
So the show Enduring Song is set during the late 11th century, at the outset of the First Crusade, which started in 1096 when Pope Urban II declared a holy war, or a quest, a crusade, if you will, to reclaim the Holy Land for God, which at that time was held by the Seljuk Turks. And the piece follows a young French knight, Matthew, on his way to Jerusalem with the First Crusade, eventually ending up in Jerusalem, on the hunt for that, having left his family behind him in the north of France. It also follows his sister, his younger sister, Marie, who remains on the farm to try and rebuild their ancestral home. So it's about two young people, siblings in fact, choosing two very different, paths in life. Yeah, two very, very different ways of living and trying to repair the broken family and the broken home that they had at the beginning of it. Kind of throughout British history, there have been periods when we've come back to the idea of the knights and the chivalry and all the kind of things that go along with that. And that interested me. It also interested me because I think it fascinated me as a boy as well. As a boy, the idea of knights and kind of going into foreign lands and foreign places, and that spirit of adventure, but tempered with, I guess, the politics of the last kind of 10 years and the things that have happened around the world and our involvement in foreign affairs and things like that, which suddenly, when you look back to nearly 1,000 years ago, you realise some of those same things were happening then, in that kind of way that history does sometimes repeat itself, and whether our intervention in other places, for whatever reason, is ultimately a good thing or a bad thing. And I think the show also has that at its heart. Basically looks at that through the prism of the romanticised, image of knights. There's romance,
fighting,
death, and funerals, and friendships,
singing,
and a huge amount of singing. Corsican, polyphonic singing, and Georgian.
Knights.
As
you can see.
One over there in the background.
It's very exciting, and I hope it will be exciting for the audience as well. I think it will be. I think having that many people on the stage, the energy that you get from that, and I think that was something that really struck us when we went down to Bristol Vic and we did a workshop for a couple of weeks, and we went down there to do a scratch, and the energy of having 20 people on stage, singing and doing these big scenes with everyone involved in it was really exciting. But yeah, it's
quite unusual in theatre as well.
Very unusual. Particularly, certainly theatre of kind of where we're at the moment, and of smaller companies. Like, it's the sort of thing you only really see at the National or in the West End, and shows or companies that would, of that scale. So I think that would be really unusual. It is daunting in the sense that that means that our budget goes up and all that kind of thing. But I'm very confident that we'll be able to pull it off and do a good show, and I think we have enough people who really want to make this show work and happen that I think it's all going to be fine, hopefully.
she said, clutching her chair.
Epic, beautiful, and brutal.
Should I do three? I'll do three as well, okay. If I had to describe Enduring Song in 3 words, I would describe it as romantic, ambitious, terrifying. Thank you. See you in June.